These pricks have failed me miserably.
Surrounded by pricks.
You stupid pricks!
Who are these pricks anyway?
Hello, and welcome to the return of the greatest podcast in the world. It is the Prickast. I am one of your hosts, the Gaming Jew, and here with us this evening to shoot the breeze is GB, Go Burns.
Hello.
Red, the 8-bit dinosaur.
Me getting a phone call right now doesn't work. Hello, guys.
Good timing.
UG Outlaw.
How's it going?
And of course, it's Kane without the it's, so just Kane.
Yeah, you see, unlike certain other content creators that have tarnished the it's part of the name, I have chosen to be the only good one out of the it's people of the community.
Yeah, because people have ruined it, you've had to take it out now, haven't you?
Yeah.
Very unfortunate.
Yeah, it's a sad day. R.I.P. the it's and it's Kane.
So on the agenda for this evening, chaps, or this afternoon or this morning, whenever this goes out, I've just balls that up, but what's on the agenda, gentlemen?
All right, so we're going to talk about a variety of topics. And by the way, thank you to everyone that has come back to the Prickast. Sorry so much that we were out for a few months. We each had real life stuff going on. It was like herding cats to get us all back together. But we're going to try and put out at least one episode a month, hopefully. We got Modern Warfare 2, Warzone 2. We're going to talk about the late, great Kevin Conroy, Crew 2, Into the Storm, Res Evil 8 DLC, maybe some first impressions from UG regarding GOW Ragnarök, and maybe some additional topics here and there as well.
Oh, my. Well, I mean, I got to tell you, this is a pretty decent sort of collection of topics that we have today. So what are we going to start with then, chaps?
You're first.
All right.
Yeah.
So, I mean, UG's going to get in with me on this as well, but Modern Warfare 2. So, as you know, it was released last month. It is the next in the series, in the very long series of Modern Warfare games, not to be confused with the Modern Warfare 2 of the PS3, Xbox 360 era. But it is a direct sequel.
Modern Warfare 2, by the way.
Yeah, the best one. But it is a direct sequel to Modern Warfare 2019, which I have to say, first and foremost, I wasn't a big fan of. Story mode or multiplayer was not a very big fan of that. But I have to say, from the new game so far, I'm actually thoroughly enjoying it. And it seems a lot of people are, as in, I've read, in 10 days, it's made $1 billion for Activision. So, 10 days, and it's made $1 billion already.
Wow.
I don't know if that's direct game sales, or if that includes, people buying, like, the Vault Edition, which included a smattering of weapons and some blueprints and things, or if that's just the base game sales. But that's quite an incredible number to make, especially in the climate like what we're in right now. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty astonishing.
And not only that as well, Mike, now you mentioned that it's, made it's made $1 billion in only 10 days, right? This is also the fastest, best-selling Call of Duty in recent years, as the last time, a Call of Duty made $1 billion in, a short amount of time was Black Ops 2, and that, I believe, they made it in about 15 days, if I remember correctly, back in 2012.
I knew you were going to say Black Ops. I knew it.
It's true. It's true. Black Ops 2,
it is second only to it, yeah.
Black Ops 2, they did it in a short amount of time, and, yeah, Modern Warfare 2 broke the record.
Yeah, Modern Warfare 2 has definitely... It's quite astonishing. It is the second most-selling video game of 2022 behind Elden Ring. God knows why, but yeah, behind Elden Ring.
Well, maybe you should try and play it sometime.
I've seen people play it, and honestly, I don't have the patience. I'd
Fair enough.
Yeah, I'd much rather... I don't know what I'd much rather do, to be honest.
I mean, Mike... if Uzi were to give you that $2,000 that he owes you, you'd be able to buy a couple of copies of the Golden Ring.
Never getting that, am I? Never getting that. But UG, what? I mean, Kane, you've played it as well. What are your thoughts generally on Modern Warfare 2, lads? I genuinely think it looks a lot better, 100%, way better than 2019. And there's a lot of new groundbreaking improvements. Well, not groundbreaking, but pretty fucking decent, good quality of life improvements.
Yeah.
But what are your chaps' thoughts on it?
You want to go first, UG, or you want me to go first?
You go ahead, pal.
Alright, well, starting with the campaign, I'll be honest, I did a Let's Play on it, and I actually really enjoyed it. I like the darker story, and, I like how, in this campaign, it isn't like Vanguard, which is literally just a bastardized version of World War II, or a bastardized, nuded down story. In this fucking game, just like real fucking evil, vile shit does happen. Like you commit war crimes left, right, and center, and you see war crimes fucking happen. Like I'm not one for like say war crimes this and that, but I'm like holy shit, that story is so fucking dark and I love it. And the multiplayer I really like it. In certain areas. I mean, I've definitely opened up a side that I have not seen since 2013. It's a side that I've had to close off since I've started doing YouTube a little bit more professionally, in air quotation marks. I've said words I've not said in years as a result of playing the multiplayer. And it is fun though. I mean, I've had fun playing with you on it, and also playing with other friends on it.
Yeah.
Spec Ops, I don't really have an opinion on it. I mean, it's literally just, I don't know. It's just there, I guess. Warzone, I only played it for like an hour or two with you, like yesterday as of the recording, and
Yeah.
I'll be honest, I enjoyed it. I never really got to experience a proper gulag, but it was all right. It feels a lot better than the original Warzone, in my opinion. It feels much better than the original Warzone because it actually feels more engaging. You don't have to hide, unlike OG Warzone. You actually can go out in the open if you wanted to.
Yeah.
And it feels a lot more fun. And DMZ, the best way to describe DMZ is like, Mom, can we play Escape from Tarkov? No, son. We've got Escape from Tarkov at home, and that's basically DMZ. Like I don't know. It's not that great, if I'm being honest.
I mean, give them credit. It is in the beta mode. It is in beta stages, so there's the potential is there. It's just I think they're trying to juggle too much right now. I want to talk a little bit about Warzone afterwards, but I do want to know what UG's thoughts of the general game of Modern Warfare 2 is, because you have played it as well. You've played campaign and multiplayer.
Right, I'm gonna be like straight up, like most of you guys know me, like when it comes to like any kind of Call of Duty game, I keep my expectations like very, very low because to me it's just like, oh yeah, just another typical first person shooter, whatever the hell. But I'm not gonna lie, I seriously do think Activision like is very solid with this game, and plus most of us that have played multiplayer, I think we can all agree it's addicting.
Oh. 100%.
Yeah.
I feel that. Like in Modern Warfare 2019, I'd die a few times and then I'd get frustrated and quit. But with this with this Modern Warfare 2, it's very addictive. 100%.
Yeah. Because I'm just gonna like quickly like say this. Like I actually won Modern Warfare 2 in a competition. And I'm gonna give a quick shout out to a YouTuber called As Promised. It was his competition he was running, and my name was picked out. Woohoo! So thank you very much. So I was thinking, okay, I got a Call of Duty game for free. Might as well play it and try it out. And yeah, let's just say I think I've become one of those people that is on a drug, and it's called Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2.
Yeah,
it's very good. I mean, even so, I was playing Warzone yesterday with Red, and for the memes, because Red likes to have a look at how badly Activision have failed. And there were quite a lot of fails in there, but even he is considering getting Modern Warfare 2 just for the campaign, because he's obviously, isn't that right, Red? You've seen the campaign and it looks incredibly interesting to you. And he's notoriously difficult when it comes to Call of Duty games. So that's a win. Activision, if you've won over Red the 8-bit dinosaur, I think you're doing all right.
Yeah, you've done something right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's still on the phone. Oh no, he's all right. He's here.
Yeah, someone was selling crap on out there, whatever. But going back to the topic, it's a tradition of me to getting like the Call of Duties after I think like Modern Warfare, like the old one.
The original Modern Warfare.
I'm putting it on, just playing on PC mainly because I like more the keyboard and mouse. As well. So in this, like, I actually skipped Vanguard, and because I make a lot of fun of it because it's a shit title, you know that. But them I just play them just for the story, including 2019, Cold War, Maybe I was basically on the fence on this one because after Vanguard, I was like, yeah, until I have, a very solid proof that this is gonna be a really good story. Yeah, maybe maybe I'm gonna get it. But thanks to I saw Kane's stream and I was like, yeah, this actually looks pretty solid. Maybe I will pick it up. Maybe I will check it out on my PC, see how it's going on, since I can play on Ultra and all those goodies, and see and try to get like an opinion on myself and I don't know that stuff. Multiplayer, I'm completely out of touch with that. I don't play multiplayer at all in Call of Duties because the community is just chef kissing good. So that's why.
Very toxic. That's the sad thing about Call of Duty is it's always been toxic though, hasn't it? Community has always been toxic. Even if you played the original Modern Warfare back in the day, everybody's dad worked for Microsoft and all that. Incredibly toxic.
Moms were being fucked.
Oh yeah. I mean that still happens now. I'm fairly sure in some of the lobbies I've been in. But all in all, Modern Warfare 2.
Don't forget, Mike. Don't forget. The kids that threatened to hack you because you killed them like several times.
Oh yes.
Yeah. Definitely. But all in all, I gotta say the game is a pretty solid fucking game. I can see why it has sold so much. It's like they've recovered from the disaster of Vanguard, and they've put the games into the hands of Infinity Ward again, who have never made a bad Call of Duty game when you think about it. I know we have a laugh at Advanced Warfare. Fair enough. But
Advanced Warfare was Sledgehammer though, so
was it Sledgehammer? I thought it was Infinite
yeah.
Ward.
I mean, Infinity Ward made Infinite Warfare.
Oh, that's
now,
it. Infinite Warfare. I'm thinking
Infinite Warfare. Quickly, like a little tangent on that. The campaign on that. If you've not played the campaign of Infinite Warfare, fucking play it. It is one of the best fucking campaigns. I'd argue it is the best Call of Duty campaign of all time. I don't fucking care. It's the best one.
Yeah, the game was a bit trashy in general, especially when it came to multiplayer. I keep getting the two mixed up. Infinite Warfare and Advanced Warfare. I get them mixed up all the time. But yeah, Infinite Warfare was, it was meh when it comes to multiplayer. It was very annoying, but it's still not a bad game. I concede it's still not a bad game. Infinity Ward have never made a bad Call of Duty game ever. So giving them the reins for Modern Warfare 2 was a genius idea because, they know what they're doing. They know what they're doing, and they've proven time and time again that they know what they're doing. So they've done great. Activision has done very good this time around. And Warzone 2...
One question I do have. Sorry, Mike, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Oh, good, brother. Don't worry.
In Modern Warfare 2, what do you guys think of like the way that they have like weapons unlocked in that game? Like, for example, you have to rank up a certain gun to unlock another gun. What do you guys think about that?
I like that. That's a good idea. That stops
I also
people
like that
sweating
with,
and abusing glitches to get all their guns unlocked.
I also like it with the attachment, the way you unlock attachments now. Like, it doesn't matter what gun you're using, as long as it's the certain like branch in like the rifle family.
Yeah,
like, let's say you're using an M4, right, and you're ranking it up a bit. You get a really good barrel. If you wanted to, get that on your M16, you won't have to go through the pain you went through on your, M4. You can just put it on your M16.
Yep.
Which is what I really like.
Yeah, it's really good that the attachments are universal for, that particular...
I think what I'm going to bring up, like, Mike is either going to roll his eyes or laugh his ass off at me. But the one gun I was trying to unlock was the Hurricane SMG, and I had to go through a battle rifle, and that was pain.
The battle rifles are pretty awful. For those of you who don't know what a battle rifle is, essentially it's a marksman rifle. It's not a sniper rifle. It's not fully automatic. It's single fire, and they usually suck huge amounts of ball. They are rubbish in every way. It's like running around with a pea shooter. It's
like Mike. I believe when it comes to the battle rifles, you can choose to make them like full auto to make them feel like an actual fucking rifle.
You can, but then you've got to deal with a shit ton of recoil. You've got to run around with a shit ton of recoil.
That's a good point.
Increase the fire rate on a gun that shouldn't really be firing more than one bullet per second anyway it's always a bad idea. But in Warzone 2, I have to say Warzone 2 is phenomenal. From what I've played of it so far, it's like Activision have said, what is the problem with Warzone 1? and done everything that everybody has mentioned about Warzone 1 being, things that they had problems with on Warzone 1. They've done everything they can to rectify every single issue and added some amazing quality of life improvement as well. So I think, honestly, the game overall, Modern Warfare 2 and the integration to Warzone 2, apart from a few sticky bits here and there where they messed up the social system and things like that, it's overall a 10 times better game than Warzone 1 was ever. The map is amazing. The looting, DMZ mode is good. It has the potential to be phenomenal if they work on it. But yeah, overall, I'm very happy.
Finally out of that urine-soaked shithole known as Caldera.
Yes, yes, we're finally out of Caldera. I'm getting Verdansk vibes from the new map Al Mazrah. There are some places there that are very Verdansk-like. It's got elements of Caldera because it's open and it's very mountainous and But I'd say honestly, everything in the game is good. There's nothing shitty in this game that I can think of. Genuinely, I don't know if anyone else has an opinion otherwise, but
there's one real quick thing I actually want to say. You mentioned DMZ earlier about having potential, Mike. I have a feeling we'll probably see that in season 2 or so.
Yeah, I'd say so. It's a beta, isn't it? They wanted to add something new for Warzone fans, and they have, but it's not at potential where it should be right now, and that's understandable. They've got to balance Modern Warfare 2, they've got to balance Warzone 2, and then they've got to balance this new DMZ mode, which they've just come up with. Well, when I say come up with, what they've done is they've looked over someone's shoulder who works at Escape from Tarkov and gone, interesting idea. Let's do that, but not as well. That's what they've done so far. But it can be fucking, it really can. And it just adds a new flavor to because Battle Royals, let's be honest, are quite stale. Bringing out a Battle Royal in 2022 with the likes of, Warzone and Apex Legends and all these other things that are out there, it's not the greatest idea. So adding something new like they've done has definitely revitalized the franchise 100%. And that's me anyway. I'm done talking about, because I know GB sat there literally with his head in his hands, like I don't know what's going on here.
No, I'm fine. So Yuji, what were you gonna say?
Yeah, I was just gonna say, I'm gonna be perfectly honest. I haven't played Warzone 2 yet, but I have seen Mike and other streamers play it. But I would say watching it on my phone or on my TV wouldn't do it justice for me personally. I think it's just to actually play the game myself, then I could fully appreciate it.
Yeah, I get that, and that's that's a really good point. That this game will never look very good when you're watching someone else do it. It's only fucking amazing when you are involved in yourself. You got a few lads with you. You've all got an idea of what you want to do. That's when the game goes from just being sort of passable to pretty fucking phenomenal. It's all about the squad you have with you. You know what I mean? And the laughs you can have and the fun. But yeah, overall, it's a very good game. I recommend. It's free, for God's sake. So if you haven't already got it, why? Because it's free. You might as well. If you've got the hard drive space. And that's another thing quickly I want to touch on. The size. The size is not... Red, how big was your download for the Series X?
For Xbox, it was 45 gigabytes plus an update. I think it was... I don't remember the update. I don't want to give false data. So yeah, overall it's 45.
So it was considerably less than Warzone 1.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. In Warzone 1 was basically 100 and something.
Yeah, so what they've done is they've managed to condense an even better game into a smaller file size, which is quite awesome too. So GG Activision on that, being able to condense it so well and still have an amazing game. Overall, it's a brilliant game. Thoroughly enjoy it. And, I'll keep everybody posted each time we do a Prickast. If there's been any sort of season updates and things I don't like and do like, I will make sure to keep everyone posted. But yeah, I think that's me touched on that subject quite well.
Something that I appreciate of Activision and the developer, and there are tons of them, so I don't know what is this one, but at least the file compressing, it was necessary, because going out to basically 150 gigabytes of storage space was just ridiculous. What I appreciate the most is how almost realistic the Warzone is compared to other battle royales. Warzone 2.0 is more feet on the ground. It kind of feels more like Arma 3 in some ways. So
Yeah.
that's something I like. Is more realistic. Warzone 1.0. Excuse me. It was more and most of them was the skins, so it wasn't the fault of the overall base core of the game. Oh, yeah, the base core of the game has to do something with it, but it's more realistic. It doesn't have all that crap, all the fucking anime skins and all that bullshit. I think that it's gonna come that it's gonna come the time that they're gonna add some ridiculous crap. It's sure, it's granted, but right now how it feels is gives that really realistic vibe of a battle royale that feels more like Arma, that your typical Call of Duty or Battlefield. That's what I like the most. Is graphical updates are there. That's amazing. It doesn't feel like playing in a really rocky state like PlayStation 4 and Warzone 1.0. Is more is it runs really smooth. And I'm glad that that was thanks to Mike that told me that they fixed the social issues, because yesterday was a pain in the ass. I play on Xbox, he plays on PlayStation, so we need to have the Activision ID and the voice chat. So since we are basically crossplay, is necessary, and that broken was a mess. So I'm glad that they fixed that, because that was an issue.
Yeah, they've sorted that out. So, all in all, pretty decent game, I'd say.
Well, I do have one more thing I'd like to add. I do think that they made a smart move by moving COD from 1 year to 2 years per installment. And I hope they continue with that trend, because putting out a COD every single year, it was just a terrible idea, and they were getting rushed. And even though I'm not a COD fan, I could tell that they were getting worse and worse with each passing year. And I think that with such a solid game like Modern Warfare 2, which obviously does have characters that are memorable, not throwing shade at anybody in particular on that one, but I feel like from what y'all have been talking about here, Modern Warfare 2, Warzone 2, even like the beta for DMZ, off to a pretty solid start. And I think it's going to be a good next 2 years for the Call of Duty franchise.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
I mean,
Yeah.
now you mentioned games coming out every year. I just actually feel extremely sorry for all the devs that were probably crunched to shit when working on all the games every year, with yearly releases as well. Like a little funny story. Everyone knows of Black Ops Cold War, right? Fun fact: that was actually supposed to be a Sledgehammer game, or Vanguard. That was actually supposed to be Vanguard, because Sledgehammer was supposed to make the game. But because Sledgehammer were being fucking picky and, childish when it came to, devs works and all that, and it wasn't even just them being just childish and, because of workers' rights, but it's them not listening to the ideas of other developers that were working on the project. Treyarch had to come in and work on the game while they were already working on another game at the same time. So you can only imagine how poor Treyarch felt being crunched to shit from, Black Ops 4, and then getting crunched to shit again with Cold War, and then again getting crunched to even more shit in Vanguard Zombies. Holy shit, that must have been horrible.
Yeah, I genuinely feel very sorry for them. They must have, and that whole yearly release thing is just, it's not the same for those of you thinking, well, 2K releases a new basketball game every year, and FIFA has EA releases a new FIFA game every year. Yeah, but it's not the same as copy and pasting the same shit from one game to another like those two companies do with their yearly releases. You're talking about building a game from the ground up in a year. It's damn near impossible, and really, really big shout out to everybody that's worked on any Call of Duty game for the yearly releases over the last few years, because you are phenomenal and very, very underappreciated.
Not only that, but also a major special shout out to the devs that actually worked on the games even during the COVID-19 pandemic, because that must have been even more horrible.
Yeah,
getting crunched to shit and the world's also going to shit.
Definitely.
Absolutely. Yeah. And regarding sports games, I know I'm just throwing this in here, I also believe that sports games should be every other year as well, because like Mike said, they are nothing more than copy pasta. They just add a new year number to it, and they changed the lineup, the roster of the teams, sometimes new uniforms, sometimes new locations. but the Maddens are always the same. And that can go for any of the other EA Sports games. And it's funny that they're actually losing the FIFA license in, I think, a year from now. So that's hilarious. I think they're going to go by Football Club, like EA or some nonsense. And
yeah, some shit like that.
And then 2K, like NBA, is basically gambling. So, yeah, I don't think there needs to be annual sports game releases anymore. But it's going to continue because the sports fans, and I'm sorry, sports fans, but you're dumb. Why do you keep buying the same game every single year? It's the same game as last year. And like Angry Joe, like he's been covering Madden every year, ranting about it. Tradition. And he always brings up previous glitches from previous Maddens that haven't been fixed. And it just keeps getting worse and worse. And yet you keep buying the same game every single year. You keep shelling out $60, $70 now, plus all the money that you spend on all the packs and other DLC that, they get extra money out of you for. So that's on the sports fans. You got to take a stand. You got to say enough is enough and stop buying the same sports game every single year.
100%. And you know what I thought as well? The only real thing that changes in these games each year is, like you said, GB, maybe the roster will change and there'll be a few people on different teams this time. But the main thing that changes is the damn advertisers on the shirts and the stadium boards. That's pretty much it. So all you're doing is creating a whole new game and putting devs to work just for people to buy something that's got a different brand on it this year. That's all it is.
Exactly. Like,
so all you're doing is putting more money into
£60
brands' pockets. That's all you're doing. Not that they don't have enough money as it is if they're spending millions of pounds to advertise their product. They've pretty much got enough money as it is and don't need any more from an extra game a year when we don't need the game itself. So, yeah. I'm with you on that, 100%. It's a waste of time.
Preach, GB and Mike, preach.
I think there could be a whole nother episode on on its own on the problems with sports games that me and GB
there you go. Keep an eye out for that one, guys.
There's always, seeing as though we're on this topic, there's always like one thing about particular sports games that come out every year that make me laugh. Is that some YouTubers, like, they buy it and on the first day they say, oh, this is the greatest game ever, and then a week later they're just bitching and moaning out, this is shit, that's glitch, blah blah blah.
That's because half of them are on the fucking payroll. That's why.
I know that, but it still makes me laugh.
It's just embarrassing, isn't it? People are going to willingly shell out all this money for the same copy pasta every year. I mean, fair. Listen, a fool and his money. There's a saying, isn't there? Yeah, a fool and his money are soon parted. So while there's still a community who are willing to shell out an exorbitant amount of money every single year for the same crap, then why not let them have their money taken right from under their nose? Because it's not gonna change. Sports fans are sports fans. They're still gonna pay $100 to go and sit in the nosebleeds of some stadium and watch a bunch of grown men running around and groping each other. It's pointless. Well, it is though, isn't it? That's what it is. And don't honestly, American football, don't get me started on that. That has got to be the most rubbish sport. It's not even a football. It's not a ball. It's a bloody egg. It's an egg, man. And you use your hands more than you use your feet. So why don't you call it hand egg, not football? There's no point. Sorry, I'm going on a tangent.
No, that's fine. I have an idea for a name. I want to call it tackle ball, but most people don't want to call it that, even though most of the time it's tackling.
Yeah. I just don't like the idea of it being called a ball when it very clearly isn't a ball.
Exactly.
Could you roll that thing? Not particularly, without it going somewhere else.
It kind of rolls wobbly-ish.
Yeah. You know what? When you roll an American football, it looks like my nan without a Zimmer frame.
Oh, God.
That's what it does. God. It just goes left to right, then falls over and has a massive coronary.
Visual.
For more on the Gaming Jews, Nan.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Right, okay, sorry about that. She's dead, by the way, so sorry about that.
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace.
Yeah, and speaking of rest in peace, we lost a very famous and talented voice actor and a great human being last week, the late, great Kevin Conroy, best known for voicing Batman from the 90s. Batman, the animated series, which I grew up absolutely loving.
I didn't realize he did it from the 90s. Sorry to interrupt you, bro. I genuinely didn't know. I know you were talking about him a lot, and I thought, is he really that good? I didn't realize it was the 90s he was doing it from, because I remember watching.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how old Batman the Animated Series is. I mean, it's still iconic. You know, people still enjoy watching it to this day. And it was the first comic animated universe. Like it was around a lot longer before MCU was, because you had Batman the Animated Series and Superman Animated Series. You had Batman Beyond. You had the Justice Leagues. You had Static Shock, and I think the first Teen Titans. I could be missing one or two. I think a couple of the animated movies were tied into it, but all of it began because of Batman the Animated Series, and Kevin Conroy as Bruce Wayne Batman, Mark Hamill as Joker, and a few other very talented voice actors and actresses and writers like Paul Dini, Bruce Timm, and it was an amazing show, and it still holds up to this day. But
Definitely.
But at its very heart
Absolutely.
was the voice of Kevin Conroy as Bruce Wayne and Batman. He did a great job with both voices. The way he would come across all kind of like, I guess, kind of like an airhead playboy with Bruce, all like, hey, Alfred, hey, everybody. And then all of a sudden you'd have a completely different persona when he put on the cape and cowl as Batman. I mean, he just pulled it off amazingly. And the reason why I jumped on board so early with Arkham Asylum for the demo was because I found out about the fact that it was written by Paul Dini, and it had both Kevin Conroy coming back to voice Batman and Mark Hamill as Joker and Arlene Sorkin as Harley Quinn. And I knew right away, yes, hell yeah, I'm going to be picking this game up. And yeah, and there's so many other movies that he has, animated movies that he voiced Batman in, and the last thing I think he's officially voiced Batman in, unless they have another project that we don't know about, is I guess Multiverses is doing pretty well, but he also voiced Batman in Multiverses. So
Yep, I believe that was the last official time he actually voiced the Batman.
as far as we
I'm
know,
looking on his
yeah.
I'm looking on his wiki, and that's the last time I've seen like Batman show up in terms of like his voice acting.
Yeah, I
Like,
think
Yeah,
I think he's going to be voicing Thomas Wayne in an upcoming film or something, like an animated film, I believe. But it's so sad that we lost him at the age of 66 because of cancer. I know this is something most of you will agree with. Cancer absolutely sucks. And it's
cancer.
Yeah, and it's taken another legend from us, and the late great Kevin Conroy, who was all in all a great human being. And his voice will live on for hopefully many years and decades to come, whether it's the Batman animated series or Arkham Asylum, City Night, or any other like animated movies or video games that he happened to, include his voice in. So rest in peace, Kevin Conroy. You'll always be my Batman.
Absolutely. I have some stuff I kind of want to say as well.
Okay.
Like, it's actually sort of, something that I actually have genuine respect for Kevin Conroy about. And I believe this was like in, recent years. I believe he revealed this in like I believe it was a thing he made called Finding Batman. And it was where he revealed his sexuality, and, he revealed he was a gay man, voicing the Batman. And I thought that was absolutely incredible. He does a great job. Not only that, it's like you look on his wiki, so many good things he's done. Like, after the Twin Towers attack, he was there at soup kitchens helping out.
Yeah, I remember that story.
That's astonishing.
Yeah.
Well, what an incredibly noble man.
Yeah.
Like he's such a pure soul. Like he was the Batman. Like I don't care what anyone says. Like people could say, "Oh, Michael Keaton or Christian Bale or God help me, Ben Affleck."
Nobody's going to say Christian Bale. Nobody's going to say
I
Christian
am.
Bale. I'm sorry.
I disagree.
Okay.
Live action.
This could be a whole new episode.
Live
but no.
action. He's my Batman.
God.
But I'm talking about
Yeah.
overall, like on top of everyone else, like animated, put side by side with live action. I'm putting Kevin Conroy at the top.
Same here.
Yeah.
I will always put Kevin at the top because I loved him in the animated series. Like I watched it a few years ago, like I believe on Disney XD when that was like reruns of it or something. What else? I remember playing like the Arkham games. I loved him in those, and I remember. Look, I'm probably like one of the few people that actually like The Killing Joke. All right, like the animated film. The way I actually do it, like listen to the film. I don't watch I just skip the cat, like the Batgirl shit, and I just go straight to the actual story.
Yeah.
You know, like that's what I do. All right, and he's such a pure soul. Like Kevin was. Like I'll say this: he was a great Batman and an even greater person.
Yeah.
Like he was a greater man. You know, and rest in peace, Kevin. You will be dearly missed by everyone. You know.
Yeah, I think I have to chime in and at least say I didn't realize that he'd done the '90s Batman.
Yep.
Because that was what I grew up with, and that was phenomenal. As a child, like you don't appreciate it as much as you do as a grown man now. And I have to say as well that we can talk about live action Batmans all day long, and there is some skill involved, but having to portray two completely different characters just with your voice really shows what kind of, talented individual and human being you must be to be able to, you can't convey. Acting is 90% facial expression present, right? Being able to do that with your voice only just goes to show that he was an incredibly talented man, and I am absolutely sure that he will be dearly, dearly missed by everybody who's ever had the pleasure of being touched by him in some way or another. So, yeah, rest in peace.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I have one little recommendation for anyone that might not believe us when it comes to how good Kevin Conroy is when it comes to voicing Batman. All I will say is watch the ending of Arkham City and the monologue that he gives as Batman.
Yeah.
That monologue is so fucking good, in my opinion. I'm not going to spoil it, obviously, because I know there are probably people that, would want to know, what is the monologue? What's he talking about? But once you watch it, you'll see how good of a Batman he is. That's all I'll say. That's all I'm going to
Agreed.
Well, I would also recommend, if you have never watched the Batman animated series, I would suggest at least one of the animated movies. Maybe pass on two of the other ones that were revolved around the animated series, but the one you absolutely should watch is Mask of the Phantasm. That is a great story that involves, Batman and Bruce Wayne. And there's a lot of emotion and a lot of character development in the movie. And you could watch it without ever watching the animated series, but it obviously complements the series. And if you just want a taste of, Kevin Conroy as Batman and Bruce Wayne, definitely check out Mask of the Phantasm. It's a great animated movie. It's one of the best animated comic book movies ever. And yeah, I mean, if you're a Batman fan, I find it difficult to believe that anybody that's a Batman fan has never watched anything with Kevin Conroy in it, whether it's the animated series or the Arkham games. But if you haven't checked out Kevin Conroy's performances as Batman, Bruce Wayne, then you definitely owe yourself that treat, especially if you happen to be able to have access to that content. And what Mike was saying about voice acting, absolutely. I believe that voice actors are way more talented than your live action TV movie actors, with some exceptions. There are exceptions out there. There are some very good TV movie actors out there. Not all of them are freaking dry and talented hacks that have no skill at all, but on par with talent. Yeah, voice acting is requiring a lot more skill and talent, and they definitely deserve to be paid way more than they're getting.
100%.
Absolutely.
Unfortunately, Yuji had to step out for something real life while we were talking about Kevin Conroy, and he wanted to share his thoughts, his views, and opinions about the late, great Kevin Conroy. Yuji, the Batcave is all yours.
Thank you, Alfred. But when I first heard about Kevin Conroy sadly passing away, I think all of us can agree we were really saddened about him, because basically his voice is what most of us grew up with as Batman fans. And I thankfully had the honor of actually meeting him at a Comic-Con, I'd say about 6 years ago. And I can honestly say he was one of the most nicest, most humble people I've ever met in my life. He actually ended up signing my copy of Batman the Animated Series Season 1, which I have in my office right now. And I would give this advice to anybody, that if you have anything signed by Kevin Conroy, treasure that. But if you kind of really think about it, Kevin Conroy sadly, he's passed on, but he's not really gone because all you have to do is go back, watch Batman the Animated Series, Justice League, or even play the Batman Arkham games. And if you kind of think about it, he's still with us, if you really think about it. And that's my 2 cents on Kevin Conroy. Rest in peace, sir.
Yeah, what an amazing guy. And it's still hard to believe that he's gone. But you're absolutely right, Yuji. There's always going to be a part of Kevin Conroy who will be with us, especially those of us that grew up watching Batman the Animated Series. And not only was he voicing Batman and Bruce Wayne on that show, but he also voiced Bruce Wayne in Batman Beyond. He voiced Batman in a couple episodes of Superman Animated Series, which is another great show, as well as Justice League and Justice League Unlimited, and several animated movies. 1 or 2 of them were good. The others you could probably pass on. But what was one of your favorite animated movies or like IPs that had Kevin Conroy's voice? It could be one of the movies, it could be an episode of Batman animated series, or it could be one of the games. Anything in particular stand out?
I think it's like when it comes to Batman the Animated Series, there are too many episodes that I could mention.
Yeah, that's the
because
hard part.
there's. I think I'm actually just going to throw one. One just came to my head. Have you ever seen the episode from Batman the Animated Series, An Appointment at Crime Alley?
Yeah, that was good. Yeah, that was really good.
Yeah. It's just that whole episode. We all know the story. Bruce Wayne lost his parents, and it's always like at the very end of that episode, you just see Batman and I can't remember
doctor,
her name. They were like walking.
The psychiatrist.
Yeah, the doctor. Yeah. Yeah, they're like walking down the alley, and he puts the 2 roses down, and she puts her arm around Batman, and it just suddenly fades into that photo of her holding Bruce Wayne as a child. I just thought that was just so beautifully done.
Yeah, that was such a heartfelt episode. And I hate that I don't remember the psychiatrist's name because she becomes kind of a maternal figure for Bruce throughout the entire series of Batman the Animated Series. Tompkins, Dr. Tompkins, yeah. And I think
just came to me.
Yeah, I think that she's in Gotham and she's played by what's the actress's name that plays Dr. Tompkins? But anyways, let's not talk about Gotham. Let's talk about Batman the Animated Series. But yeah, a couple episodes that come to mind real quick is The Gray Ghost. I absolutely love The Gray Ghost. It's what inspired young Bruce to become Batman. And, he saw the actor, which was basically voiced by Adam West, who played Batman in the 1960s TV show. And it really told a lot about Adam West's story as well as The Gray Ghost. Now, The Gray Ghost inspired Bruce to eventually become Batman, and how this actor that was loved for the role he played, that's all he was known for. And unfortunately, after that series was over, similar to the 1960s Batman TV show, like Adam West sadly had trouble getting roles for anything else because he had been typecast. And, it just shows like what had become of the actor in The Gray Ghost, and how at the end of the day, even Batman and Bruce Wayne help inspire the actor to, find himself again. And, even renew interest, a revival, if you will, in the Gray Ghost franchise. And it just shows how, how it's just really circular, where like the Gray Ghost, like inspired Bruce, but at the end of the day, it was Bruce Wayne and Batman that ultimately inspired the actor to get his life back, because his life was just basically like going downhill. And it wasn't his fault because he was still out there trying to get roles, but he kept failing to get roles. But the one thing he held on to was the Gray Ghost, even though he had kind of like a love and hate thing for it, which is understandable. But I don't want to spoil what happens in the Gray Ghost, but it's a really good episode. And another one I can talk about is Over the Edge. It was one of the episodes in the last season. I don't think it was really called Batman the Animated Series. I still consider it to be Batman the Animated Series. I think it was
I think it was called the new Batman Animated Series.
Yeah,
That's
Batman and Robin, but it was still technically, even though the animation wasn't as good. But that episode was amazing because it was like a worst case scenario, like where a small spoiler, like in this episode, it doesn't actually happen. It sends Gordon over the edge after Batman, and it just shows that their friendship is really like ripped apart between Gordon, who trusted Bruce to help him save the city of Gotham, and Gordon, pays the price in this episode. But it does have a quote unquote happy ending, without spoiling it any further. But that was another really good episode that comes to mind. There's so many fantastic episodes like from the first season all the way up to the animated series of these other shows we talked about. Like Batman Beyond, I loved Batman Beyond. A lot of people at the time hated Batman Beyond, but he did such a great job voicing an older, like Bruce mentor for Terry McGinnis, who took on the cape and cowl as Batman. And like Return of the Joker was another phenomenal animated movie.
I was
what
about to
a
bring that
movie.
up. That is a fucking masterpiece, in my
Yeah.
opinion, when it comes to like the Batman animated series, like universe. It's really
Yeah,
good.
Mark Hamill was great as the Joker, and you had the late, I think Dean Stockwell voicing an older Tim Drake, and I've always loved his work from Quantum Leap to Battlestar Galactica, and Arlene Sorkin came back to voice Harley Quinn, and that's one thing I absolutely loved about these series is not only good writing, good animation, and good musical scores, but they also had some extremely talented voice actors and voice actresses.
And that plot twist as well in the movie. I'm not going to spoil it because it's a really, really good twist.
Yeah.
But it's you just need to watch the movie and you'll get what I mean. It's a really good twist. But
Yeah,
that's all I'll
but
say. That's all I'll
anyways.
say.
Final thoughts, Yuji, before we move on?
Like, I mean, I know for a fact, like, especially like all of us, like, we could sit here and we could just talk about Batman till probably Monday or whatever because we're all Batman fans.
Yeah.
But like I said, like there's so many memorable episodes. The movies, I'm still saying Mask of the Phantasm is still my favorite.
Agreed.
Just yeah, it's so good. But yeah, my final thoughts on it is Kevin Conroy, thank you for making our childhood, and rest in peace, sir.
Okay, so I guess we'll move on to the crew too. If Red is ready to hop into the sports car or the supercar and give us his opinions
Sounded
about.
so middle-aged dad. Then I'm so sorry. The sports car or the supercar?
Racing and leap ball missions.
amazing.
So, Red, the floor is all yours.
Thank you very much. Well, the Crew 2 was updated this week with the Into the Storm update, which I actually enjoy a lot. I like the fact that you can actually feel the physics change over. Usually, well, let me explain first. Well, usually it goes that like environmental changes, like for example when it's winter and you see like this blizzard coming on, it's just something visual, especially in racing games. But in this one, actually the physics change during that part of, for example, a blizzard, or in this part a dust storm. So when you're passing through paths of high wind, the car actually moves to the side for because of the forces of the wind, which is fantastic. I really appreciated that. The fact that they actually something that I really appreciate is that we are in a really tough economic time. We are coming out of a pandemic that actually caused a lot of drama in terms of economics. And I'm glad that Ivory Tower actually made up that the Battle Pass is actually able to be both by in-game credits. Like, what I mean is you actually can grind the necessary in-game cash to buy your Battle Pass if you don't have the money to buy it, to buy it. So I really appreciate that. It's a really player-friendly move, for example, especially for people that doesn't have the chance to buy, for example, crew credits. There are the microtransactions of the game. Also for kids that usually they don't have and they don't have are able to get money, or good kids that doesn't steal credits, mommy's credit card. And also for people that live in parts that are really hit by the economical crisis, or for any political crap that is going on, especially in Russia. So I really appreciate that move. It actually makes a difference that there is good people out there in the gaming industry nowadays that is so monetized, is so focused on making so much money, that there is at least one developer of 1,000 that is able to understand the situation that we are right now, and that is able to, hey, if you aren't able to buy this with real money, you're more than welcome to grind the in-game cash you need, and you can buy your battle pass with like the other people do. And that's what I appreciate the most. That's why I really appreciate of Ivory Tower and even Ubisoft, as rare as can be heard. Overall, the game, yeah, but it's there is 2 cars released. There is nothing out of this world. A Mitsubishi FTO and a Pontiac Trans Am, the same one of the Smoke and the Bandit. So
Nice.
it's just a really it's really a small update. There is gonna come there is gonna be cool cars in the future. The Lamborghini Countach Quattrovalvoli from the 85 and the Lamborghini Countach LPI 100-4. That is the new one that came up last year. So there is going to be a lot of content. Also, that there's going to be returning cars from motor passes. Like, again, Ubisoft and Ivory Tower showing that if you missed any chance to get the old motor passes, you can get the new like the old cars that were in those motor passes right now with in-game cash or with crew credits. That's what I appreciate the most. Especially, I'm gonna compare it with Forza Horizon 5, and it's disastrous. Like the embarrassing Donut Media update. Like it just shows that how like the two spectrums of developers. One that is able to cutting corners because there is because they think on the players, and they are able to demonetize the game a little, so more players are able to get content, and the others that are just recycling shit, putting really lacking updates, and petting themselves in the back in any single monthly live stream, saying that they're the best guys in town, and they are giving a lot of space to the community. So yeah, good job to Ivory Tower. Terrible job for Playground Games. So yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say from the Crew 2. I'm gonna make a video just having more context on that. So that's pretty much what I have to say about the Crew 2 Into the Storm. I don't know if anyone has.
No, I just wanted to
an
say
opinion.
that I love that idea of being able to pay for the battle pass through money that you've earned in the game. That's brilliant. If a lot of other companies did that, that would just save, because some people only have these games as their, they don't have the money to go out and drink and all this stuff or do other things and exciting things. They have their gaming, and some people are quite introverted and prefer that. So it's a nice little way for for the developers to be looking after the little guy. I love that. That's beautiful.
Yeah. I think now you mentioned like using in-game currency to buy the battle pass, without having to pay for it. I think the only other time like something similar to that has happened is back when Rockstar used to support Red Dead Online when they added in like the outlaw passes. Like I think that's the only other time I think that's also happened, because it not really happens that often in the gaming community. Like the devs are like, hey, cough up like $6 or some shit to buy a battle pass with a lot of mid items. Instead here it's like, hey, I got you. If you want to grind for it, grind, get the cash, and then you can buy the battle pass, with that cash in game. And I like that idea, and I feel like more game devs and more games should do that, in my opinion.
I think it's a sad state of affairs, isn't it? I mean, at least not so much you, Kane, but definitely the other four of us have, we grew up in an era where gaming wasn't about making money off the people that were in. It was about passion.
Yeah,
and,
I mean, I think I probably was born in like the final days of that era.
Yeah,
because
you probably were, yeah.
Because the only games like around that time before the whole monetization crap began, like I remember the first real game that had that problem was like I think I can't I can't fucking remember what it was, but I know it was on the PS3 that game was, and it had like fucking digital currency and shit. But I remember like back in the day just playing on the PS2, when I was a little lad, playing on Burnout 3 or Sonic Adventure 2.
You paid for a game, and that was what you got. You didn't have to keep paying for it that was the golden era of gaming. There was no continual payments needed to advance yourself like there is these days in literally 90% of the games that exist. So yeah,
Exactly.
it was a sad day when enjoying games died and having to pay for them became a thing. Pay for more for them and pay into investing. You're investing in a game and getting no return. And people will say, "Oh yeah, you're investing and you're getting, it's fun or whatever. You're having more fun. You get better skins or whatever." It's like that's not a return on my investment. I got to tell you, that's not a return on my investment at all.
Yeah, I mean, it's always been about, making money just like any other business, but it's gone from making, money off of a good quality game that people were purchasing to absolute greed by corporations and the suits at the top of the ivory towers, the investors, the stockholders. And yeah, I mean, there's a reason why gaming has become a multi-billion-dollar industry. It's great that it makes money, but at the same time, unfortunately, you see some companies just get a little too greedy when it comes to the products they're putting out. But going back to the Crew 2 Into the Storm, comparing it to the Donut Media update from Forza Horizon 5. Yeah, I was watching your stream last week, Red, and that dialogue between those individuals at Donut Media, who I never heard of until that update came out, because I had no idea that that was a channel. Of course, we have so many other channels, big and small, on this amazing platform. That's no surprise. But it was really cringe dialogue.
Yeah. You're cutting how it James or a Nolan. Like I know that maybe like I knew about their stuff like back in the years, like back then when they were competing with they just like Car Turtle or Jalopnik. But we always have like when they started these top tens, it's like I don't have anything against James, the one from Dawn of Media, but I don't know if this guy it really tries hard to make the content he does to actually make it funny, to actually be hilarious. But one thing is like you can just go with the same jokes all the fucking times. And all these times it's like, oh yeah, it's like me and my dad, they disappear. Ha 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 ha. But it's like, oh Jesus Christ, just shut up. It's like it's like, and I appreciate that they like I don't know if Donut Media or the ones that owe them just pay a big chunk of cash to Playground Games to put it on the spot, but. But you can, since you talk about it, like you can see the spectrum of energy in the content they made, and into the DLC. In the videos are super energetic, like over energetic, or like they're like they have energy there. But if you go to the DLC, it's like they are like forced to go there. Like all the dialogue is like basically someone is pointing a revolver into their heads and talk and say these lines. It's like there is no energy. There is everything like super forced. Like there is, and it makes it really boring. Also, that the DLC of course needs to be broken to make the cherry cake, just to put the cherry on the top of the cake. So that's the thing. But yeah, Donut Media is something else. Like I don't see their content anymore due to that, because they just force so many stupid jokes. There's like many a 12-year-old will love that joke, but people that actually listen to the cars are just like they want to see and more stuff that related to cars instead of my dad disappeared like my car. What a good job.
I'm wondering if they have a fucking iFunny watermark at the bottom of their videos.
Why do I feel like Red's doing this a lot funnier than the actual guys that are meant to be doing it?
Exactly, man.
Red's after a job now, isn't he? He's going to go work for Donut.
Oh no.
Red's about to fucking get those guys fired of their own job.
God. Brilliant.
Oh dear.
Well, and this is like a parenthesis, by the way. There is like this parenthesis of Rockstar Games. It's a parenthesis or big parenthesis of the Rockstar Games actually made up this thing of RP servers and giving the statement of them. I have the information that actually says because someone actually tried to make an NFT server out of it.
No.
For
Yeah.
fuck's sake.
Oh,
So, like some rapper contacted a hedge fund and tried to make a pass that was basically an NFT to actually have access to an RP server using GTA 5. So that's why.
that's embarrassing for him.
You know, and not only that, but NFTs. Crypto's gone to shit, man. Why? Jesus
Terrible.
Christ.
Yep, going down in flames.
Yep.
But anyways, I guess we'll move on to Kane's impressions of the Res 8 DLC. How was it?
Yes, the Shadow of Rose DLC. I'll be honest. I did the whole thing in one stream. Like, and if anyone wants to watch it, it's on my channel in the Resi 8 playlist. I'm gonna be completely honest. It felt kind of forced. The DLC did it. Because UG, you've played the DLC as well, right? Like,
Yeah, I have.
You've completed as well. I mean, if UG wants to also chime in, you feel free, man. But like the outro, like the ending cutscene of the game of the DLC, it's literally the ending cutscene of the actual fucking main game. Which I mean, it's cool that we get to see it again, but why? And also the whole game being the idea of the entire DLC of Resi 8. It's literally one of them like, oh, the whole thing happened in your mind, so nothing really happened. So it's like, oh, okay, cool. So am I not supposed to really care about Rose keeping her powers, losing her powers, or whatever? You know? And not only that, but seeing some of the villains return, like, and, for some reason, it confused me at first why I saw, why Duke was actually one of the antagonists that you actually fought in the DLC, because throughout the main game of Resi 8, Duke, the lovable fat bastard he is, he's helping you out, giving you them guns, giving you, some melees, giving you some tonics, this and that, and also helping Ethan find his daughter and to stop Mother Miranda, and also get freaky deaky with Lady Dimitrescu. But, it just confused me at first, but then I remembered, oh shit, Rose never actually met Duke, so she probably just thinks he's, a bad dude in her head. So that's probably one of my headcanons for it. And then seeing fucking Evelyn from Resi 7 return again, I'm like, can this child just fuck off and die? I don't care. We killed her in 7. She appeared in Ethan's head at the end of the fucking main campaign of Resi 8 just to say, oh yeah, Ethan's been dead the entire fucking time. He's just mold. Like, cool. That's awesome. So I'm guessing fucking Rose has the powers of the mold or some shit. And the whole point of the DLC is just getting rid of the powers, but you don't get rid of them in the end. So it's like, well, thank you, Capcom. The whole fucking journey was pointless.
Yeah, I was about to say like both of us have completed the DLC, and I'm kind of fully on board when that whole DLC, that whole adventure was just a complete waste of time.
Yeah, I mean, it's cool that we got to, see Rose and see her, as like a teenager. She's grown up a bit. Because, like, for the entirety of Resi 8, your entire mission, your main goal, is rescuing her from Mother Miranda and her cult. That's the entire main goal of Resi 8. Rescue your child and stop Miranda at all costs. And, eventually you do that, but it's like, and, at the end of the DLC, fucking Miranda returns, and it's like, wow, cool. So she's back again in the head. Like, why? Honestly, it just felt like a cash grab, the DLC, if I'm being honest. That's the way I see it. Because here's the thing. The difference between the Resi 8 DLC and the Resi 7 DLCs, the Resi 7 DLCs were fucking great. Not a Hero and the End of Zoe were fucking phenomenal, in my opinion.
Yeah. Especially
the End of Zoe. That ending actually really hit me. Finally stopping Jack and curing Zoe of the mold. I love that. But, with this DLC, it's just, okay. So everything happened, but it's over now. Woo!
I think it was just like, for me, like, when that DLC was over, like, my first reaction was, what the fuck was that?
Yeah, I guess, yeah, that's me as well. It's like, so, was that it? Like, Like, what happened?
It's like that Krusty the Clown clip from The Simpsons. He's just standing there with a cigarette in his mouth. What the hell was that?
Yeah, or even the like, you know, after they watched the Poochie episode of Itchy and Scratchy, you know, where Tom was like, "Well, what did everybody think?" And everyone just is a loss for words because of how shit it was, you know.
Wasn't that great, boys and girls?
Yeah,
Well,
at this stage,
was it?
I'll take football to the groin at that one.
Yeah. I mean, I'll admit the DLC had some, you know, it had some moments. You know, I enjoyed it, and I also enjoyed seeing Ethan return at the end of the DLC. But the thing that annoys me is we still don't get to see this bastard's face. Like, come on, he's probably just some generic dad-looking dude. Like, come on, just show his face, Capcom. It's like a fucking YouTuber face reveal. Like, come on, come on.
Like, he's right there. Just show us the face. It'll only take you a few seconds.
It was Dream all along.
Oh my god, no, don't even do that. Like, fucking Dream. Motherfucker be looking like Walt Jr.
Wait, wasn't that how they got out of... You remember that TV show in the 80s called Dallas?
Yeah.
And one of the guys in there, JR, he got shot, and then apparently the whole thing was... They realized they made a mistake, and then it was apparently the whole thing was a dream. It was his younger brother's dreaming about it or something. That's what this is like. This is just on a
There's a
par
lot of stories that do that kind of writing trope, and
Like,
I'll be
so
honest,
lazy, dude.
it doesn't work. Look, I know there are some stories where it has worked, but in my opinion, it just doesn't. You have to do it extremely right. In my opinion, you have to make it so believable. You know, you have to at least put some clues. But you know, in the first half of the game, like obviously, you know, you see it happen, but I mean, like in the whole thing, you're like, at the end of it, you're like, so. What was the point in doing all of that? Like, I just did that just to basically see, fuck all happened. Nothing's changed, you know? So, yeah, I've just wasted, like, 2 hours and $10. So, thank you, Capcom.
That's a lot.
Thanks a lot, you cunt.
Yep, in the words of
Exactly.
Snake Freezer. Thanks a lot, you cunts.
Now, look, if the sequel trilogy was retconned as a bad dream by Ben back at the Jedi Temple, like, oh, Uncle Luke, I had a bad dream. I think most Star Wars fans would forgive that and accept it.
Be on board with that, GB, if that was the case. That's the only time I'd be on board of, like, dreams and shit, you know? That's the only time.
Yeah, it could just be a force vision of like, hey, I saw this girl named Rey. Go pick up Rey, bring her to the temple, and train her correctly. Go save Finn, and there you go, and stop the First Order. Well done, hooray! The good ending.
The
ending Ken and I got was a gigantic what the fuck ending.
Yeah, and then after that, not only that, we just see the ending of the main game as well. So it's like, what? We've already seen this. Why are you
We
showing
know
us
what
again?
happens. Come on.
Sounds like you guys got an actual kick in the bottom instead of a...
It pretty much was. It pretty much was. And we're like $10 or $20 short, you know, at this point.
Oh, dude. So what you've done is you've paid $20 for someone to kick you in the neck.
Yeah, pretty much.
I could just ask Gina to do that for free.
And I'm sure she'd bloody well oblige as well.
But he will if I keep pissing her off.
Well, I guess we can axe this topic and pass it over to you, G, for some God of War Ragnarok first impressions.
Oh god, I saw what you did there.
Yeah, so did I.
That was so cheesy. Let's axe this guy.
You're welcome.
Mike, you do realize you're talking to DJ Salty Cheese here.
Yep.
But okay, God of War Ragnarok, first impressions. So I have played most of the God of Wars, seeing as though they came out like in the PS3, PSP, you can name it. And I remember playing God of War 2018, which won Game of the Year. Fuck you, Last of Us Part 2. Just getting that cheap shot in there. And I love the fact that they totally changed Kratos' personality because now he has a son. He's got a boy. Sorry, I had to throw that in there. So as much as I enjoyed God of War 2018, so I'm not going to lie, I don't get excited for a lot of games that come out because I made that mistake years ago when Mafia 3 came out. Not taking a shot at Mafia 3, I just thought the game was it was all right. So God of War Ragnarok drops. I buy it first day, and within the first hour, you go through a range of emotions. You go from like being excited to actually playing the game. There's a few moments in the game that I'm not gonna spoil for people who haven't played God of War Ragnarok yet. And then there's other moments in the game that get you absolutely hyped as fuck. But I'm going to admit I haven't completely finished the game yet, but at the same time, it's an open world game, so I'm just basically exploring the game at the moment, exploring different realms, different areas of the map. But I'm going to put this in the same league as Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. It's addicting, just minus the multiplayer.
All right, well, I'm glad you're enjoying God of War Ragnarok. And by the way, speaking of Game of the Year 2022 is coming up. You got God of War Ragnarok, you got Elden Ring, you got Horizon Forbidden West, Plague Tale Requiem, Xenoblade Chronicles 3, and Stray. Those are your 6
I'm voting
nominees.
for Stray. I don't give a
I'm
fuck.
sorry, but the rest of those are dumpster fires compared to Stray. It's got to be Stray. Has to be.
Stray better win. Otherwise, we're getting all the cats to riot.
Well, I mean, it ties in nicely to the beginning when GB said getting us together was like herding cats.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, pretty
It
much.
was.
that's
better
a
than herding
precursor.
sheep.
Stray's going to win. It's got to.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Sorry, boys, but I'm going against the two of you. I'm going for Elden Ring.
Wow.
Well, someone has to.
Yeah, I gotta go with you as well. I think it's like the one who has more chances is Elden Ring. It's a really good
Well,
game overall. Like,
I'm just.
sorry for that, you did, but I like.
No, go ahead, Red.
I would love to have I would love to have Stray to one Game of the Year because it will be a big victory for indie games. Like it will be basically something that rarely happens. But to be realistic, like Elden Ring is such. There were some difficulties here and there, but overall, it's a really good game, and you need to keep credit with credits too. God of War Ragnarok. I don't know. Like there is something that is true, and even if it's it's quite of a hot shot, but it's quite of a corporate Sony move to put it there because because that boosts the sales. So and it's still too early to have a
Absolutely.
to have it as a Game of the Year.
Like,
Go
I'm
ahead.
sorry if I'm interrupting you, Red, but like, I have to absolutely agree with you. Like, the game only just came out this month, and it's already been nominated for Game of the Year. I mean, that is a good sign, showing that the game is really, really good. But I mean, it's a bit early, It's like at least wait until next year's, Game Awards to put it as like a Game of the Year or something. If I'm gonna be honest, and let all the games that came out before the actual awards, show began, have their little shot, like Elden Ring, Stray, like Horizon, let them have a shot first at least before God of War takes the crown, like that's just me at least,
I don't know. Like, correct me, like, if I'm wrong about this, but didn't they, like, they've already like nominated God of War Ragnarok as Game of the Year, which I agree with everyone. It's way too early. But didn't they do the same thing with Red Dead Redemption 2 when it came out? Or am I wrong?
Yes, like
Yeah.
Red Dead when it released in October, like yes, it's a fantastic game. Red Dead Redemption
Yeah.
2 story. It is an emotional roller coaster, but I do agree, again, keeping my point here. Like, I was a bit gutted that it didn't win Game of the Year back in 2018, but then I also realized, well, it doesn't really make sense for it to win Game of the Year because it's only been out for like 2 or 3 months at the time,
Yeah, but-
when it released.
What time did God of War 2018 come out? When did that release?
March, I believe. I
Okay,
believe
so
it was
yeah,
March or
it
April.
had more time to justify it
Yeah.
being Game of the Year in 2018. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, an award is just an award. What really matters is if you enjoy playing the game, whether it's Elden Ring or God of War Ragnarok or Stray, or you think that Ghost of Tsushima deserved Game of the Year 2020 instead of Last of Us Part 2, that's your opinion. And
Bullshit.
I would agree with Ghost of Tsushima deserving Game of the Year 2020 over Last of Us Part 2, but I know some people out there would disagree. But I mean, I think it's a pretty solid lineup, and I think Stray and some of these other games are going to be up for other awards as well. So even if Stray doesn't win Game of the Year, it's still going to win some awards, and it's still an accomplishment in its own right to be up there with 5 other titles. And I think if I'm to throw my hat into the ring, even though I didn't play God of War Ragnarok, I still haven't finished 2018 yet. Maybe one day I will. And I haven't played Elden Ring, and I have no intention of playing Elden Ring. However, I would say that From Software deserves a W. I think they deserve a Game of the Year, and I think Elden Ring is the pinnacle of their franchise. I mean, not just one franchise, but multiple games that they've made over the years. And a lot of people speak very highly of Elden Ring, including UG and others. And yeah, I think Elden Ring deserves it.
It's definitely a front runner.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's gonna be it's gonna be between, like, let's face it, there's gonna be two Sony games against Elden Ring. But who knows? That's me. Maybe maybe something different could happen. So I'm pretty sure that Elden Ring has a lot of positive momentum going on right now.
But I know for a fact, like, Elden Ring is definitely going to win a few awards anyway. I know that much.
Yeah.
I think it'll definitely win, like, for its score, because I love some of
the
the
score
the
is
music in
phenomenal.
Elden Ring. I've never played the game, but I've just listened to it, like, just watching people's streams, like, its score, and that score is amazing, you know.
Definitely. And I think that these games that we all love to play and enjoy, and whenever they get an award nominee or they win an award, of course, you're proud of the game. You're like, yeah, I really love that game, and I can see why this game got Game of the Year or Best Score of the Year or Best Voice Actor of the Year, or etc. But once again, it doesn't matter if the games win any awards or no awards. What really matters is, did you enjoy playing these games? Because that's the most important award. You putting your time into this game or that game. Kane wants to discuss a little Payday 3 leak.
That's right. Yes. I snuck all the way into a secure facility to steal this little item, as well as a few other medic bags and money bags. I'm joking. Those are Payday 2 references for, like, the other Payday 2 players out there. But the other day, one of the developers that are working on Payday 3, Koch Media, which I believe they've renamed themselves. I don't know what they're named now, but obviously they changed their name because people that had a little funny mind of changing the name from Koch to Cock, obviously, because funny haha internet jokes. But on their site they were, I believe it was like one of their parent companies. They were talking about investments, game projects, and all that they're working on. And one of the things that actually got revealed was Payday 3 and some stuff regarding it. So, first of all, Payday 3 will be releasing towards the later half of 2023, according to these leaks. Now, they are leaks, or rumors and all that, so you never know. That it could change, because, like, games don't often always release on the intended release date, They often, get delayed and all that, so you never know. It might be 2024, we'll probably see Payday 3. But the one leak that I think is the most interesting part was Xbox Series X and S and PS5 and PC only for the game. So it won't be releasing on the last-gen systems of PS4 and Xbox One. Which, I'll be honest, I kind of saw it coming, because Overkill's history when it comes to updating the Payday 2 console versions has not been very good, mainly because the engine they used to use before they finally got Unreal for Payday 3, the engine they used was the diesel engine, I think it's called. And the diesel engine is predominantly a engine that is used for racing games, I believe. And I can only imagine how bad it probably is trying to change, like, physics from a car engine, like, for video games, to make it into, like, an FPS sort of thing. So that was another thing as well, because the thing is with, like, Unreal, you can just send all the content to all the platforms just like that. With Diesel, you basically have to rework all the content from the ground up. You know, so like for a simple bank heist, for example, if it's easy as piss to make on PC, like if Payday 2 was on Unreal, they wouldn't have any issues like porting that heist over to the PS4 and Xbox One ports. But because it's on Diesel, they literally have to remake the entire level, which is really, really bad. Which is why one of the reasons why I'm glad they're using Unreal 4 for Payday 3. And with the it only being on next gen systems, it also makes sense as well because, I mean, look, I understand it's probably difficult to get a PS5 or a Series S and X, but the consoles have been out for a few years now, and I feel like it is like we're at the point where it's like let's try and see how much of the full potential can we unleash of the PS5 and the Series S and X, And the problem is like some games that are still being released for the PS4 and Xbox One, if you listen to your consoles, they don't sound like they're having the best of time when running those modern day games. So it's understandable why they're making the move to only next gen consoles. And I mean, obviously PC, it's fine because PC can run anything pretty much, as long as you have the RAM and gigabytes and all that stuff. But yeah, that's pretty much all the Payday 2 stuff like Payday 3 stuff that got revealed. So
Payday 3.
Yeah, I know, but I'm looking forward to it though. If I'm being honest, like it looks very promising. That they're getting all the original characters back, and I will be definitely streaming it when it releases in 2023, and I believe like TJ's getting it, Relic's getting it, Relicane and TJ Leather. You guys should check them out, by the way. Check out TJ on Twitch and Relic on YouTube. They're both absolute legends in the community. But they both said they're getting it, and it looks really promising from everything we've seen so far of it. It looks extremely promising, and I am looking forward to when it actually releases.
Well, I have to run, Jen.
Yes. Okay. So, Mike, plug the channel.
You know what? I hate plugging channel. It's so cringe. I don't know why. So can I just plug someone else's instead?
Okay.
Sure.
Okay. I think everybody here should subscribe to Snake Freesia. God, I don't know why I'm doing this.
Snake.
I don't know why I'm doing this, but at least I feel better in myself if I be nice to him for like 5 minutes and don't continuously bully the hell out of him. So please subscribe to Snake Freesia. He's angry, he's bearded, and he's a bit of a moron, but he's our angry bearded moron. So he's like an angry Smurf, basically, but not blue.
So what, is he angry Papa Smurf?
He is. He's Papa Smurf, except he doesn't own a red hat, and his skin isn't blue. His skin's red with rage. That's what it is. Red with rage. But yeah, that's pretty much.
All right. So I guess we are just about near the end of the Return of the Pricks. Prickast 8, I think this was. And before we go, some news. We will be bringing back the Prick Mail next month. So apologies to anyone that may have submitted a question a month ago, I guess in November, like during this episode. Yeah, we didn't get a chance to cover it, but we will cover it for, I guess, the last installment of the Prickcast for 2022 in about, hopefully, a month from now. We do have a new handle at the Prickcast, YouTube at the Prickcast, so that's pretty easy for you. And the community post, I guess, for the next few weeks, look for silly, ridiculous posts in the community tab by one of us 5 clowns or pricks or prick clowns or whatever we are.
Yeah. You'll never know who it is as well because we like to keep it secret.
Maybe we'll just play a little game and we'll each take turns posting something and it'll be up to people in the comment section to guess who posted it. Who did it?
And you know what? Whoever guesses correctly, you get a pat on the back and a free cookie, I guess, if you go to a cookie store or some shit. I don't know.
Yeah,
we're not giving you anything.
Yeah, you'll get a heart. You'll get a Prickcast heart by your name.
And a pin message.
Maybe. I don't know if we can promise that. But the first comment post, you're probably wondering who it was. It was me!
Yes! He's the American Psycho.
Because I always use that 2 weeks meme every time I say 2 weeks in one of my videos for the original Total Recall. It's a great movie, though.
2 weeks.
It is.
Yeah. Don't watch the remake. The remake is trash. Watch the original. But Anyways, before we go, let's plug some channels. Mike's channel is linked below in the description section. Once again, check him out. He's back. He's playing more Warzone. I think Warzone 2, obviously, because we've moved on from Warzone to Warzone 2. And some other games like GTA, just a few examples. So check out the Gaming Jew. Yuji, what you doing over on your channel? What's your plans in the future?
Well, kind of like honestly, like just really at the moment, I can't really like do much on my channel right now because I'm just kind of busy with work and personal life. But at some point, I will return. But definitely go check these lovely gentlemen out, like Mike the Gaming Jew. Definitely go check him out. If you want to see a Jewish man yell at an angry Dutchman, not the ship, go watch Mike the Gaming Jew. GB, Go Burns, let's be totally honest, he's the reason why we're all here in the first place.
Hey, don't blame me.
Yeah,
I'm
he
just giving you a
kidnapped us.
compliment. Roll with it.
We're all in his basement. Help us, please.
I don't even have a basement.
Well, we're in the shed then. I don't know. We're somewhere.
We're
We're locked up. We need
You're in
help.
the dog room with Edward.
Fuck! Help!
Hey, he's a
I
I
good
wonder
wonder
why
guy.
I spent a dog shit. Let me out.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely subscribe to GB. My little brother over there, it's Kane. Definitely go check him out. And of course, Red the 8-Bit Dinosaur. If you want any information on cars or vehicles or whatever, Red the 8-Bit Dinosaur is your man. But that's it for me.
And Kane, what's happening over on your channel?
Not much really at the moment that I can think of. I do have some plans for some special kind of streams. For example, I do plan on streaming the Fortnite end of Season 4 event and end of Chapter 3 event. That'll be coming on the 3rd of December. I'm also going to be streaming the new update for GT Online whenever the fuck that releases, which is looking likely it'll be on the 13th of December. Also, GB will also be streaming it as well. So if you want to see, different point of views, check out, both our channels,
I'm so looking forward to getting up early in the morning. Great.
Well, I mean, it's fine for me. I just get up in the morning and I
Yeah.
wait until bloody lunchtime. You have to wake up at like 5.
Yep.
Oh, bless you. But yeah, the GTA update I plan on streaming. I also have some other plans in the future, which I'm not going to get too in depth on, but I have some other videos down the pipeline as well. But when it comes to like streaming, well, it's really whenever the fuck I feel like it, if I'm being honest at the moment, like most people. But GTA will be probably one of them because I'm stuck on that cesspool of a game, unfortunately. But yeah, I think that's really it for me on my channel, at least.
And Red, what are your plans? What are you making content-wise, and what do you got planned streaming-wise?
Well, when it comes to videos, I'm actually cooking one right now. That is the one that I'm talking about, Project Cars, basically one of the franchises that EA lately killed due to Project Cars 3. That was a disaster. So I'm making a video that basically telling my thoughts on my history about Project Cars. The episode 2 of Forgotten Vehicles that is gonna come next week. I'm gonna see what is the car that is or vehicle that is gonna be on that list. That funnily enough, someone in the comments put all the traffic cars in the game. Like, if it's a fucking traffic car, it's not rare. Like I can pick a dilettante, and I'm not gonna say, oh look, I own a dilettante. Look how rare I am. No, it's not. Don't pick traffic cars. That's stupid.
What is
But,
this,
yeah, with that out of
2013?
the way- I know, but imagine picking a fucking traffic car and say, oh yeah, it's pretty rare. Like, you can see that shit on the fucking street. You crash into it. Like, it's not rare. But going back, and in plans of streaming, I exactly don't know. I was actually planning to do Fortnite, the new 4040 mode. That actually, I like the 50-50 one back in like years ago. I actually like that one, so probably gonna do that. And when it comes to racing games, I'm just gonna keep them on videos because it's much easier and it's more entertaining for me, and it's not as heavy in terms of views. So yeah, that's pretty much it for me.
Next reaction stream when, Red?
Yeah.
That's a good question. That's a good question. I don't know. I need to find some really quality crap on the internet.
Well,
without
we
going
did
to
recommend
quality.
a channel to you that we don't want to mention here, but I'll DM it
Oh
to you.
yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
boy.
sure.
We were joking about it the other night.
I think
Oh,
I know
yeah.
who you're. Oh, I know who you're
Yeah.
referring to.
But
Now I
the
remember.
Darman reactions are the best, though.
Mm.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Of course. Nothing gives more cringe than Darman and his crap
His
with
plot twist.
with-
The Darman
Jesus
storyline.
Christ.
It's Sniper Wolf saving the day.
yeah, as
Jesus
usual.
Christ.
But anyways, check out Red's channel. Check out Kane's channel. I have channels, yeah, a few. I have the main channel, which I guess I rebranded back to Go Burns because, like, even though people call me GB, they prefer the channel being called Go Burns, so that's fine. It works. I'm making videos now. I'm trying to figure out the direction to go with that channel. Gaming, entertainment now, so I am going to plan a review of the first season of Andor, which has been amazing. I've absolutely love Andor. And the season finale, I think, is coming up Wednesday. So hopefully I'll have the review out for that Wednesday or Thursday or sometime next week. Still doing some weekend GTA streams as we get through the heist event. We're just having fun playing that. I may eventually stream some Oregon Trail. I think it's available for Switch, but I can't find it for some reason. I looked even on Amazon and I couldn't find the Switch version of the new Oregon Trail because I absolutely loved playing Oregon Trail back in the day. So I want to get some dysentery.
Oh boy.
Not in real life, obviously, but so the other channels, GB Fang, which is my political channel now, more political over there. So if you're interested in my hot political takes, feel free and check out GB Fang. And Riley and I have a vlogs channel. And we do a monthly vlog at the end of the month talking about, shows we're watching, movies, video games playing, and other stuff that's been transpiring. So check out GB and Riley vlogs. We also have a video from our Texas trip a few weeks ago. So that's up on the vlogs channel as well. So feel free and check out my channels. And with that being said, thank you all for watching. And I'm passing over the mic to Yuji to wrap it up.
Thank you. So, yeah, I guess that's going to be it for this episode of the Prickast. On behalf of myself, Red the AP Dinosaur, It's Kane, Mike the Gaming Jew, and Go Burns, we'd like to thank you very much for taking the time to watch us. Now, this podcast is over. You know where the door is. Good night.
You stupid pricks!